Okay. Hi, everyone. So welcome to Marlog Free Webinar. So the session for today is job opportunity for women in tech. So we are so excited to have you here today. So especially we are already in the Women History Month. So before we dive in, I would like to take a moment to introduce our amazing speakers, which is Mercy Thaddeus. So Mercy is a skilled and passionate software engineer with 4 years of experience in the industry with a strong background in front-end development and blockchain knowledge. She successfully built innovative solutions for Web3 companies. So Mercy's impressive journey includes graduating from the University of Ilorin, being a former team member of the Google Developer Student Corps, holding the title of Microsoft Lens Student Ambassador and Cowrise Ambassador, receiving recognition for completing the Binance Blockchain for Women Bootcamp with Sweetiva, and co-founding TechUp, a technology-driven initiative empowering young people. So we are thrilled to have Mercy here today to share our expertise and insight today. So today, without further ado, let's give Mercy a warm welcome. So the floor is yours, Mercy.
Hi, everybody. Please, if at any point you can't hear me, please do let me know. Thank you very much for the introduction. And first, I want to appreciate the host for inviting me to speak here today. I'm honored. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead to share my screen. Please let me know when you can see my screen.
I can see your screen.
Okay, cool. Okay, so today we're going to be looking at job opportunities for my girlies in tech. And yep, so for those who don't know me, I'm going to be giving a quick backstory of myself, of my journey in tech. If you're wondering, like, who is this one? All right, so my name is Mercy Thaddeus, and I'm a software engineer. And so, a quick backstory of my journey in tech. I got into tech in my second year at the university. By the way, I graduated from the University of Ilorin. And when I got into tech as a front end developer. So a training that was supposed to be for 8 weeks, front end training on HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. That was supposed to be for 8 weeks. Eventually lasted for just 4 weeks. So I was now left to learn on my own. And along the line, while I was learning on my own, I remember I built a website for my auntie who was running a catering service at the time. I mean, a free website for her, right, for a business. And after that experience, I got more confident, like started applying for more freelance gigs. I remember I built different websites for different people at the time. Then then that was during the lockdown at the time. Yeah. Please, if you can't hear me, do let me know, okay? Is everybody still with me? Okay,
I can
cool.
hear you clearly. I can hear you
All
loud
right.
and clear.
All right. So yeah, I'm just giving a quick backstory of my journey in tech. Then in 2021, I got into Web3, blockchain or crypto, as each of different people might know it, right? So when I got into Web3, I got into Web3 as a website developer. So around 2021, I was building a lot of websites. I was getting jobs. I'm going to be sharing how I was able to get a lot of jobs around that 2021, around 2021. But most of them were freelance gigs, right? I'm going to share like the things that I did and how I was able to, keep getting jobs. Then um, along the line, I realized that okay, I was getting freelance gigs, but were they sustainable for me? I knew that I needed I felt like I needed a full time job. Then that was when I started applying and started learning a lot of things. I'm still learning. I'm going to be sharing everything that I've learned along the way. Um, so so right now, I work as a software engineer for Insights.vip. I'm also the co-founder of TechUp. TechUp is an NGO dedicated to nurturing next generation of tech enthusiasts. We're focused on advancing sustainable development goals 4 and 8. All right. I'm also a blockchain enthusiast. Now, this is not the cliche blockchain enthusiast that goes around, right? I am fascinated by the blockchain industry by the concept of blockchain. And yeah, that was what led me to blockchain content writing, right? And so let me talk about the agenda for today. What are the things we're going to be looking at? So for this webinar, we're going to be looking at in-demand tech skills, and I'm also going to share some tips that actually work for getting jobs. Now, I know that there are a lot of tips out there. There are a lot of, oh, do this, do that. Today, I'm going to be sharing the things that have worked for me and worked for a lot of people around me, right? Things that you will do that would actually help you get a job. And we're also going to look at how to position yourself for more jobs. And I'm also going to share some tech opportunities for women. For women. All right. So without wasting much of our time, let's just get right into it. So for those that are, still trying to get their foot, or if you're still at the deciding phase of your career, like you don't know what skill to go for, or I mean, you heard of, oh, there are coding skills or non-coding tech skills, or you want to learn to code, you don't want to learn to code. So I'm just going to give an overview of some of the skills in tech, some of the skills that you can pick up, you can learn. And at the end of the slides, I'm going to also share like how you can, start learning, platforms you can explore. So yeah, the first one, now this is not an exhaustive list. There are still lots and lots of them. These are just a couple that I was able to put together because I strongly believe that these are the hot takes right now. Okay, and so, but if you have a tech skill that is outside of this one, no problem at all. It's totally fine. This is especially for those that are, still trying to decide how they want to get their foot into tech. So the first one I have here is software engineering. And please, this is in no order of priority. This is just a list. It's not like, oh, the first one is more important than the last one. I just had to clarify that. So the first one I have here is software engineering. So if you want to get into software engineering, so as a software engineer, you are responsible for the design, the development, testing, and maintenance of software applications. So what you do is that you typically apply engineering principles and knowledge of programming languages to build software solutions for users, right? And if you're looking at software engineering, there are typically like two parts. You have the front end, the back end development, the front end development. So for the front end, what you do is that you focus on the user side. You must have heard of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React. I mean, those are very popular languages that are out there. You've heard of those ones. Those are the tools. Those are the the languages and codes that you use to build websites or web applications. So it is a type of software engineering that involves what users see. So when you go to, let's say, Netflix, or you go to Spotify, or you go to visit a website, the things that you can see on the website, that is the front end. So it is the front end developer's responsibility to build that. Then back end development, and so as a back end developer, you're responsible for building and maintaining the server side of web applications. So if you're looking to go into back end development, you know that you are responsible to build the structure of the software application. And then some of the languages used here is Node.js, Java, Python, Rust, C++, C Sharp, PHP, and a lot of them like that. Then I also want to talk about data science. Please, can you still see my screen and can you still hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. So the next one I want to look at is data science. So as a data scientist, you are an analytics professional and you're responsible for collecting data, analyzing, and interpreting data to help drive decision making in an organization. So what data scientists typically do is mine data for information in order to predict different things like market trends, customers' behavior, financial risk, cybersecurity threats, stock trades, and every other thing that is needed to run a successful business. The next one I have here is cloud engineering. Like I said, I'm just doing an overview. If any of this catches your interest, you should. I would share platforms you can use, can explore to learn further, to learn more on them. Then cloud engineering. So as a cloud engineer, you are an IT professional and you build and maintain cloud infrastructure. So you are essentially responsible for creating and managing cloud-based solutions for businesses, right? And because of our time, I just want to like brush through it before we go to, the job aspect. Then the next one I have is product design. I mean, I think this one is pretty common too. As a product designer, you oversee the design process of a product from start to finish, right? So if a company wants to build a product or an individual wants to design a product or come up with a product, you typically go to a product designer who would have to understand how the product is supposed to run. So you would act like a middleman between, like a liaison between designers, between engineers and researchers, and you will help compose like mock-ups and through prototypes for the product. So as a product designer, you need to have an understanding of the bigger goals of the product. And this is why you know lots of product designers tend to transition into product management, right? Because if you're a product designer and you like really understand and know your onion, plus if you have like key leadership skills, it's be very easy for you to transition into product management. So now, what is product management? So as a product manager, what you do is you identify customers' needs and the objectives that the product will and should have. So you are like a bridge between the teams to deliver the product and the product being worked on, right? So for product management, you need very strong communication and problem solving skills. Then the next one I'm looking at here is developer relations. So as a DevRel engineer, your focus will be on building and maintaining relationships with developers and developers community. So DevRel in theory is like the intersection of three major disciplines: engineering, marketing, and community management. Then the last one I have here is technical writing. So technical writing, this is a very lucrative option. So if you have like a strong writing skills, you can become a technical writer, and this way you create specialized resources about products and services. You create instruction manuals, how-to guides. Say a product is launching, it's your job as a technical writer to create a guide on how to use the product or use the tech software or whatever it is. We also create journal articles and other supporting documents in order to communicate complex and technical information more easily. So those are the list that I have here. Like I said, if any of this interests you and you're still at the deciding phase of your career, you might want to like explore them and learn more about them. But whatever skill it is you have, whatever you decide that you want to do, no matter what your career path, no matter what the career path you're on, your major focus should be on value. Value should be your focus. What you should focus on is, how am I going to be of value to this individual or this company? Now, beyond what you're doing, I mean, we're the era where people say, oh, AI is going to take your job, AI is going to do this and all that. Of course, there's a place of AI taking out the tedious part of, product development and product launching, right? So for you to, stay relevant in our world today, your focus should be on value. What can you do differently, right? What can you do differently? Okay, you're a software engineer. What ways would you, offer value to the company in such a way that they will say, oh no, even if an AI is coming up today, you can't let this person go, right? Now let's look at the tips for getting your first or next tech job. Please let's not forget this, very key. Like I'm going to be talking about this like a lot during the course of this session. No matter what career path you're on, value should be your focus. Now, the tips for getting your first or next tech job. So if you've been in tech for a while, you've never gotten a job, or you've gotten jobs at some point and you're looking to get more. Now, this is the tip. Volunteer. You might be wondering, like, why am I asking you to volunteer? You're looking for money now. Of course, everybody's looking for money. So why am I mentioning volunteer? Before then, I'm going to share a quick story of something that happened sometime last 2 years. Yeah, that was 2022. So I was running this academy, right? And so it was supposed to be like a Web3 academy, right, with someone at the time. And we got people who wanted to learn about Web3 to the academy. So why the trainings were going on, somebody reached out, and one of the attendees, one of the trainees reached out and said, "Oh, hi Mercy, I want to volunteer to work for this academy as a graphic designer." We didn't have a graphic designer at the time, right? We're just like whatever we want to do, just make it use Canva also to just make it post. So we're not really heavy on our social platforms at the time. And then this guy reached out and said he wants to volunteer to work the um for the academy. And I'm like, okay, cool, no problem, you can. And then this guy delivered, he was doing the graphics, we were working together, I was in the content, and then we were posting. And then I felt indebted to him, like, okay, you paid to join this academy to learn Web3, and then you volunteered to um work for us for free. I mean, of course, we had, I can't even say we paid him because it was a very ridiculous amount, right? More like a data fee, right? So it was typically free. I'm going to say it was typically free, like we're not paying him. So I felt indebted, like, okay, this person is a graphic designer. Of course, he needs job, but then this is him volunteering to work with us. And at the time, I was working for a company, right? And I remember in one of our meetings, the CEO was like, "Oh, we need another graphic designer, but he's not sure if we need another graphic designer." And during the course of the meeting, I had to say something. I was like, okay, sure, I think we would actually need another hand in the graphics team, right? And then I was like, okay, it's going to check five. I'm like, no, don't check five. I have somebody. Of course, I already had that guy in mind, right? The fact that he did not just come. I mean, a lot of people will come and say, "Oh, please, I do this, I do that. If you have anything for me, remember me." The truth is, not like people don't. The truth is, people don't really care, right? As much as you feel like, oh, they'll remember me, it's what they've gained from you that they would use to remember you. So the guy stood out obviously because he had delivered something that was helpful to me and the academy at the time. So I remembered him for sure. I mean, I had him in mind all through that period of time while I was working in the company, and then they needed a graphic designer. It's not like I didn't have other graphic designers, right? So when I pitched to the guy, to the CEO, who I know someone is very good, and then he got him on board, and that was how he got his first job in Web3 because he volunteered, right? You might say, oh, it's just luck. The truth is, this is just one of many stories of how volunteering could, make you stand out, right? I remember there are times where you feel like, oh, I look up to this person. Let me reach out to the person and say, I want to be like you. I want to do this. I mean, instead of doing that, let me share this. Let me share this. I mean, instead of just reaching out and say, I do this, I do that. Why not just go a step further? Look at what the person needs, right? Now, this is not just about like jobs, right? This is very essential for jobs, for relationships. We want people to, remember you. What value can you offer when you're looking for jobs beyond just looking for the next hiring now? What value can you offer to the people that you're asking? Oh, please remember me. Okay, so I said volunteer, and I just gave a quick story of how someone volunteered and was remembered for a gig, right? So why? I mean, I believe at this point you already know why. So if you're a newbie, why should you volunteer to get before you can get a job? Why should it be like an option? Like, oh, if I'm not getting a job, maybe I need to start volunteering. The reason is because newbies struggle to get jobs due to the first one is high competition and lack of experience. High competition. I mean, you're literally competing. Sometimes you're competing with people that have ex Amazon, ex Google, or ex Meta on their profile, and you don't even have the experience, right? There's always that phase in our career where there's no experience. We've never really worked for anybody, but of course, we still want those jobs. And then it brings us to the loop of I need experience to land a job, but I need a job to gain experience. So what do we do? Right. So that is where volunteering comes up. And then you don't have to wait for hiring now before you get a job. Most of the jobs that I've gotten as a developer or as a writer or as a community manager, because those are the three things that I do, right? Most of them, let me say like 90% of them, I never see like the hiring now before I get the jobs, right? I never wait for me to see hiring now before I apply for jobs. You can send cold DMs. For those who don't know, cold DMs or emails like are messages you send to people you don't already know, right? That's what cold DMs is. So you don't have to wait for hiring now before you get jobs. And if I'm going to be frank with you, most of the ones that I've applied for that they say hiring now, I most times don't get responses back because the truth is when the application is out like that, a lot of people are also applying, right? It's not like you're not confident in your own portfolio, but the truth is if you apply for a junior dev role, and with the way the world is right now, say you're applying for a junior dev role, the chances that a senior dev is applying for it is high. Say a junior dev role of 40K, 50K annually, right? If a senior dev is probably applying for the same role, and if you are a hiring manager and you're to be honest with yourself, who would you pick? Someone with more experience, or someone who has like very few experience? Of course, you want to go for the one with more experience because companies really don't have time to start training while they are paying you. It's very rare, like super rare. So, like I said, you don't have to wait for hiring now. You're shocked, relax. I know people go online, oh, what company is hiring right now? Let me apply. Let me go to all this hiring. They work, oh, I'm not saying they don't work. I'm not discouraging anybody from using them. I still explore them once in a while. What companies are hiring? Let me apply. But there are other ways you can get jobs without having to wait for the hiring status of a company. So I'm just going to give a very detailed overview on how it's done. So, so what you do is you go on a social platform. So me personally, I use LinkedIn, I use Telegram, I use Twitter and Discord because especially Twitter and Telegram and Discord at the very start of my job life. That's the thing, right? I was focused on Telegram and Discord because I got into I got into Web3 early enough, like at the very early start of my career. And those are like the two major platforms for communication. So I was using Telegram and Discord. So what you do is you go on a social platform and then you look out for small or growing companies or startups with less than 50 employees. And then you find the hiring manager, the CTO, or even the CEO, right? Now, the reason why you want to look out for small companies is because small companies don't really have they don't really have to go through protocols. I mean, you could literally just reach out to the CEO and say, oh, and these are things that me I've done several times. I'm not just sharing things that I've never done. You could literally just reach out to the CEO of a small company. Probably they have like 5 employees and say, oh, I love the things that you do. I'm going to share templates on that later on, right? So you want to look out for small or growing companies or startups, and then you send a convincing message about yourself and about your skill set while attaching your CV or resume. Now, if you don't have any experience, it's okay, right? But of course, you will have things that you have built. Say you are a developer, you have your GitHub, you are a designer, you have your account on Behance, you have some of the designs you've done, or if you're a data analyst, you have some proofs of work that you've done. So you want to attach it and tell them, oh, these are the things that I've done. And then you want to sell yourself. Now, this is like the major point. You want to sell yourself as willing to offer value for free or less. Now, very, very few companies will turn you down because in the end, they're not losing anything. It's like they're not going to be getting an extra and they're not even going to pay their, high salaries for value you'll be getting. So you want to tell them, oh, I'm going to offer this value. I'm going to do this. I'm trying to gain experience myself. And you don't have to pay me so much, or you don't even have to pay me at all. I just want to do this either as an intern or a volunteer, right? And like I said, very few companies or very few individuals will turn you down on this. It could even be an individual working for an organization that you kind of look up to and say, oh, I want to work under you or intern under you. Instead of just going to people's DM and say, don't forget me, oh, this is what I do, and then send your CV. Tell them the exact things you can do for them. For them now, very key, like for them, not the things that you've done generally. Generally, like for example, you are a designer, let's say a product designer. Instead of just reaching out to somebody and saying, hey, these are the designs that I've done. please don't forget me if you know any job. The person will tell you no problem, it's fine, I'll remember you. But the truth is, the person might not remember you, right? So what value, what key thing can you deliver, can you do for that person or for that individual, for that company? Can you do like a video about the product, right? A video about the product and say, oh, this is what I do. I made this video. I don't know what you think about it. Like maybe just send to the person, right? Even if the person is not hiring at the time, they won't forget you. That's the truth. I've had lots of experience like this, right? And at the end of the day, it's a win-win for you, whether you're paid or you're not paid. You gain experience, you gain the relationship, and in many cases, you get stipends from them, right? Please, are we still following? You just react.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you. All right, like I said, it's a win-win for you at the end of the day. So if you're saying "Ah, this girl is just talking, show what kills." So this is I couldn't really lay my hands on a lot of conversations I've had like this in the past because the last time I sent a code DM was in 2023. I'm trying to zoom this in closer so you see. So this was a conversation that I sent. Now this is not even like the professional one. This is on Telegram. I sent this DM to a well, it wasn't the CEO. Yeah, it was like the hiring manager. I wasn't even sure if it was the hiring manager because the company had a lot of people on the team. So I sent this DM. I after I, I think I did a brief introduction or I didn't. So I can't remember what the start of the conversation was. But I said I'm seeking to work as a community moderator. This was last year, right, 2023. I was looking for a moderator role because I was in school at the time and I'm doing too much explanation. So I was looking for a community moderator role for that particular company. And this was the message I sent. I said I could also work in the capacity of the social media manager and content creator. Who is the right person to contact for my proposal? I mean, this is cold DM. Like I'm just entering this DM. Normally, I would probably want to wait until I see them post on LinkedIn and say, "Oh, we're hiring a social media manager or we're hiring this." Oh no, I entered their DM. This is what cold DM looks like. And then he replied. He said, "You're already talking to the right person. What experience do you have in these areas?" And then I made my experience, right? And I shared my CV. Of course, I already had experiences at the time. And he said, this is a good experience there. We need community manager and content writer. I am sending the information to HR and we'll get back to you soon. And that was how I got the job. Like after this conversation, no, after this conversation, right, I was reading their white paper. So white paper is like a document that contains information about the company, right? So I was reading their white paper and I wrote a content about something that I learned from them, right? Because I checked their blog. I checked through all like their blog content and I saw that they didn't have a content on that particular thing that I read, which was very key, right? Now, remember what I said about offering value even before like you're asked to or before you're paid. So I wrote the content and I sent it to him and he was like, wow, this is impressive. We're gonna share it in the community. Okay. Now after that um content that I wrote and sent to him, a few days after we had an interview and I got hired. Right. Now this is what a code DM looks like. This was last time I sent a code DM, right? So I couldn't really lay my hands on so many other ones. So if you look at okay, let me just move to the next slide. This is a sample of a pitch message. Like I said, this is probably not like the most professional ones. You might want to like make it more professional, write a very long text. And I want to say that this code DM thing, it works differently on different social platforms. Now, if it's LinkedIn, you might not get the chance to, drop message here, drop message. It will just hear you because your first message, especially if the person is using LinkedIn Premium, you probably have to subscribe. So your very first message has to be very convincing, right? Telegram allows this because you could send message, doesn't reply, you see that he has read it, you can send message again, but you probably don't want to do that, right? So this, like I said, it works differently on different social platforms. I'm able to do this because it's Telegram. Telegram can allow me to send messages over and over again, but LinkedIn, if the person is using LinkedIn Premium, you have a one-time chance, except you want to subscribe to Premium. You have a like one chance to pitch yourself, and so you want to make it like very convincing, right? So this is a sample of a pitch message. I just crafted this for the purpose of this webinar. So what I have here is LOXYZ. I'm a data analyst with XYZ years of experience, say 5 years of experience. I am seeking to get an intern role in order to gain hands-on work experience. So if you don't have any work experience, or let's say you've been designing for 2 years, you could say, oh, I've been, or 6 months. You can say, oh, I'm a self-taught data analyst. I just got into data analysis 6 months ago. So I'm looking to get an intern role in order to gain hands-on work experience. And this is a voluntary role for me, and I wouldn't mind offering my value for free as I am more interested in gaining work experience. Now, if given this opportunity, I would do my best to offer nothing short of value and excellence. Let them know that you're not coming just to put in your profile that you worked here. You have to, like, you're going to deliver, you're going to do the job as though you're getting paid $1 million, right? So to continue the wonderful work being done at the company. So here's a link to my portfolio, CV, resume, or whatever it is that you have, and then you end it with I look forward to getting a response. Now this is just a draft tool. You don't have to like use this exact thing, right? So like I said, next slide is always do the extra. You can't afford to be ordinary. Like what I did when I applied for this job back with DM. I went ahead. I didn't stop there. I went ahead to write the content for the company, right? I went ahead to write the content. So always do the extra. If everybody's applying, sending the same message, what can you do differently, right? What do you have that you can offer differently that would make you stand out? You really can't afford to be ordinary. And yep, so that's it. Then the next one, how to position yourself for more jobs. Optimize your social profiles. Very important. When people come to your social media platform, to your social page, what do they see? Let it be there, like let it be boldly written there. Data analyst, product designer, let it be there. Let your social profiles, your social media pages, let it be optimized to, capture the things that you do. And then the next one, you want to show your work and talk about what you do. Right? Even me personally, I'm still learning to do this. But for every chance that I get, I try to talk about the things that I do, try to show my work. Because I mean it's very important. If you don't talk about yourself, if you don't talk about what you do, people would not know and nobody would really care. Then the next one is attend events and build connections. Very important, like very, very important. I mean, how do you know people? How would you get to like know people in tech or people in the things that you do? People will do the same thing that you do if you don't build connections. You can't be a lone wolf here. You have to, interact with people, build connections, not just, oh, I met you, I would like to connect with you, and then you just collect their phone numbers and move on. No, go a step further. Like I said, build connections. The people that you connect with, if you are inspired by the things they do, find a way to offer value to them. Very important. And the next one I have here is be active in online communities. So there was one time, I think in 2021, I got okay. I was in a blockchain community, right? And I was active, right? I was active in the community. Like, I mean, this one was not even because I was looking for a job or anything. I was just active in the community. And then somebody reached out to me from the community saying, oh, he bought a coin. Like, because I was active in the community, he could reach out to me. And then we had a conversation. From there, he said he has a friend that was building a project and the person was going to need a developer. And that was how I got a job at the time. I think that was last 2 years. That was how I got the job because I was active in the community. And I'm pretty sure that there are lots of other experiences, lots of other scenarios like this where being active in communities, join communities, join tech communities online, on WhatsApp, on Telegram, on Discord, and be active on them. In them, that is how you build online, networks. And then again, be valuable. You'll be referred and recommended for jobs. Be valuable. Be a person of value. You want to make sure that the people around you can tell that, oh no, this person, I can reach out to this person for this. This person has something to offer. It might sound selfish, right, for you to say that if you don't have anything to offer, people don't want you. But the truth is, people are busy, right? I know it sounds hard. I know it sounds Sounds hard, right? But truth is, people are busy, and if you can't offer something, right, you will soon be forgotten. Okay, don't take this personal, but instead of taking it personal, start looking at ways you can offer value. That's if you've not already like been doing it, right? Instead of looking for, oh, who's gonna help me, who's gonna help me, who's gonna give me job, who's gonna look for ways you can offer value. You have a friend or you have a network or someone, maybe you just view status or you just follow the person's story and the person is doing something. There are always loopholes. Like imagine as big as WhatsApp is, people complain that WhatsApp has bugs. Talk less of companies that are just growing. There are always things like there's always something. If you open your eye to see that, you will notice that, oh, this particular company or this project needs this, right? Those are the things that you pitch. I remember when I first got into Web3, when I first got into like the crypto parts of crypto communities. And I mean, that was the only thing I was always looking for. What does this community need? What does this project need? And I remember I remember joining a particular community, and the community managers, their English was not okay, like the way they were writing. And I reached out to the CEO and said, you need English speaking moderators. And I was like, got hired because I noticed the way they were communicating, and it was like, oh yeah, that they are I can't remember the country they said they were from at the time, and then they were struggling with their English. And I was like, got the job, right? Yeah, so I remember joining another one, the Discord server. They didn't have a tickets channel. For those that use Discord, I noticed that they didn't have a tickets channel. And then I reached out. I said, oh, I can help you set up your ticket channel, and help you set up your ticket bot. And I was like, I got hired for that, and I was, just make like small changes from there, right? They are probably not sustainable, but then it's exciting knowing that you can help a project solve a problem that you notice and then get paid for it, right? And it was part of the reason why I went a step further to learn Discord setup, right? I remember when I first started using Discord, I was like, what's this app? Why is it so difficult? Why is it so tricky? Like, why is everything? If you've used Discord before and maybe your first time, you're able to like figure it out. Yeah, you're a genius. The first time that I used Discord, I couldn't figure it out. It was very difficult. And I remember going on YouTube to just learn, okay, where's the messaging section, the profile section. I mean, I just learned all that. And then I now thought, okay, a lot of people have problems with Discord. I could learn more on it, like not just the user side now, but the setup side, like a Discord technician, if there's anything like that, right? And so that's what I did. I started watching videos. I created a server. I set up channels. I created a channel, a server, set up channels, added bots, like did all that just to practice. And then I added it to my head that okay, I can do this thing. If I join a server, if I join a project or a community, this is another advantage I could have, right? And this has helped me a lot of times. So this is also about doing the extra. You can't afford to be ordinary. You can't afford to be ordinary. Everybody is learning A. Please try and see if you can add B to it, learn it. It will help you, right? Um, okay. Okay, let me just touch. I think I've touched that. Be valuable. You be referred and recommended for jobs. Like I talked about a friend who, volunteered to be a graphic designer, and from there, got referred and recommended because he offered value. I mean, there are lots of other graphic guys in the academy, but he stood out because he offered value. So be a valuable person. Think of ways you can offer value. You're joining a community today. What can you do? How can you help? That should always be your mindset. How can you help? You're meeting somebody that you want to be a mentor to you. How can I help? Don't just message people and say, please come and mentor me. They don't have time. And it's not personal. They don't just have time. Look for ways you can make things easier for them. Think of it, like check their profiles. What do you notice? If you open your eye, you will see it. So I think that is that about that. And then the next thing I want to talk about is the organizations you can explore if you want to learn any of those skills. Say you don't have them yet, or you want to upskill or learn further. Malop is all of this, the host of this webinar, should explore the platform and see how you can pick up a skill from there. The next one I have is Tech for Dev. Tech for Dev runs a Women Tech Stars Fellowship class, and yes, you should also explore that. She Code Africa is pretty popular. You could also check that out. We also have Africa Agility. They have a Girls in Tech fellowship as well. Women in DeFi. If you're interested in Web3 or blockchain generally, you want to know about crypto and NFTs and the whole buzz about DeFi, should explore women in DeFi. Then Digi Girls, Ingressive for Good, Google Women Techmakers. I mean, there are lots of them, right? These are the few that I was able to point out that you can explore to, upskill, to learn a skill or, you know, yeah. Then, yeah, that is that. Do we have questions? I think this is the point where I take questions. Can everybody still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Please, questions. Do we have questions? You can use the chat.
Yeah, that was amazing presentation, Mercy. We're so
Oh,
grateful for your insight on job opportunity for women in tech, your personal journey and your passion for empowering young people. And I feel like the audience also like they have some fantastic question lined up for you. So before going to the audience, I have like a question to ask. So my question is, mm, what's
I didn't get your question. Can anybody still hear me?
Yes, ma, we can. I think he has issues with his.
Okay, I thought it was mine.
I can hear you.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay,
But
yeah,
I just
you can
heard
also use the chat box, or you can just unmute and ask.
hello? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, great. So my question is, can you share some insights into the current job market for women in tech? Like, is there any specific area within the tech like that offer more opportunity or particular welcoming to women? Like some parts in tech right now that women can get started with.
Sorry, please, I didn't get the question. Can you come again?
Yeah, my question is, can you share more insights into the current job market for women in tech?
The current job market.
Yeah, for women in tech, the current job market for women in tech.
Okay, I'm not sure I get the question.
Okay, let me put it in this way again. The question is there any specific area in tech right now that has more offer for or opportunities for women in tech?
Okay, you mean like skills women can learn? Like if there's any specific one?
Yeah.
Okay, I I think I shared a couple of them, and I would strongly encourage women to, check them out and look into them, like software engineering. You can still see my screen. Software engineering, data science, they are as lucrative as they are for women.
Oh, okay, nice. So I think if you have any question, I think someone was raising up his hand right now. Yeah, if you have any question for Mercy, you can just raise up your hand to ask her before we round up this session. Miss
Okay,
Surajuma.
I think I have question.
Okay.
So what I want to ask is that I have planned like going into tech, but I know nothing about it. So what are the steps I should take towards it? because I want it to be like after my undergraduate level.
Okay. So like I did mention like a few skills you can look into.
Yeah.
And yeah, say you want to explore software engineering or any of these things here, data science, you should first like decide, okay, which one do I want to go for? Read on them, like make research on them and decide, okay, I think this is the one that suits me more. I love writing. Maybe you want to explore technical writing. You love to design. Maybe you want to explore product designing, or you just want something new, right? Completely new. So you want to go into data science or software engineering. First decide on the one you want to learn. And then you can now check out any of these organizations. They train they train women on tech skills, right? Say you want to check out MalOp, you can register, start a training with MalOp. You can check Tech for Dev, start a training. If it's crypto, if it's DeFi crypto that you're looking into, you can check out women in DeFi online and see how you can get started. At the end of the day, you have to make um this research online. First skill you want to learn, the one you want to go for, make the research online, and then you can now start checking out the organizations. And I'm pretty sure that along the line, when you're checking out these organizations online, you start meeting people. Join tech communities as well. Malhub has a community online. Check them out. If you're a student, there are also tech communities you can look into, like the Google Developer Students Club. You can check those ones as well. Join them. So even if you're not looking to like start now, because you mentioned that after your undergraduate studies, now is the best
Yeah.
time to start connecting with people, right? Attend tech events too, right? Say you attend an event, you could meet with someone who is a product designer, and then you have a conversation, and something might interest you, and then you decide, okay, I think I want to go for product designing. So basically, start checking out the ones you want to learn. Attend tech events, join tech communities, right? And also check out these organizations. Because I don't know
All
that
right.
was the question.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mistura, if you want to join Malop Tech community, you can just check the chat box. So I've dropped a link there. And also, if anybody have interest in joining Malop Tech communities, you can check the chat box and join. So I think Allow Amarachi is raising up his hand. Do you have any question for our speaker?
Yes, I do. Good evening.
Good evening.
Um, Thank you for my question is, as a data analyst, where do I get volunteering opportunities? Okay, I
I didn't
just
get that. So you're breaking.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes, I can.
Okay. I said I just finished a training course in data analysis, and while you were
Okay.
talking about volunteering, are there like websites where we can get these volunteering opportunities, like say a website where you get this offer, say this company deal, or entry level roles or internship roles, like are there websites where we can find that? And then you talked about white paper. I really didn't
Yeah.
get I really didn't get what you were saying. I didn't get your explanation on
Okay.
company white paper.
Okay. So for the white paper, I just mentioned it briefly that when I um, applied for a job in a company, I had to do a research on the company and I read the white paper just to have knowledge about the company.
Okay, so if you want to get a company's white, this is something that is out there, like you can just get it.
Yeah, it's usually on their website. Like I check the website, and from the website, there's the white
Oh,
paper.
okay. And also, can you also share a few tips on optimization? You talked about LinkedIn optimization.
Yes, I talked about LinkedIn optimization. So your LinkedIn profile, if like never optimized it, you want to start by checking out the people that do the things that you like. Okay, since you're into data analysis, you probably want to follow a few data analysts, see what their profile looks like, see what their bio looks like, right? And see how you can, tailor yours to look something like it. I'm not saying you should go copy exactly what they have, but just have an idea on what a data analyst profile should look like. And of course, they are like the general optimization. You should have your bio, talk about your interest, your role, your experience, and there's also an option to put your certification. You said you just completed the training, so if you got a certificate for it, you want to add it to your LinkedIn profile, so people can basically see that, oh, this person is a um, data analyst. If it's intern entry level, you want to probably add it or not. And it's when you optimize your LinkedIn. I did not really talk more on it, but when you optimize your LinkedIn, it will be very easy for you to reach out to um, other people that are into data, for example, data analysis. Say you add your data analyst to your profile, to your bio, you write a short bio, and then you see someone who is, ahead in their career in data analysis, right? You can reach out to the person as well and, just share your journey and, also see how you can be of value. If not, just connect, right, with them. Did you get that?
Yes, I did. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, I think okay, okay. I'm just checking the chat box now.
So I think if you have any question to ask our speaker, you can also raise up your hand so we'll be able to give you the mic. So I think that's a good question. We're going to run up this session. So what do you about your update on job opportunities for women in tech? And a huge amount thank you to Mercy Thaddeus for sharing our expertise and inspiring journey. So the key takeaways for this session is diverse career paths, which is explore the vast opportunity within the tech industry, from Web3 development to established companies, and also in-demand tech skill. You have to stay updated on the evolving tech landscape and focus on acquiring relevant skills like software development, developer relations, technical writing, data analytics, cybersecurity, and many more. Empowerment also, which is believe in yourself, seek mentorship, and don't be afraid to pursue your dream career in tech. So, and we hope you feel empowered and equipped to navigate your tech career journey. So before we go, I think there are some resources that's going to be passed, that's going to be shared in the Malop community. Just try and join the Malop community via the chat box. So once you join, we have like amazing resources that we should share every day, like job opportunities, internship opportunities, and also resources on maybe courses, free courses. And also Malop also offer different type of courses. Like we offer data analysis, we offer cybersecurity, we offer product management, we offer software development. It's just like a very, very affordable prices. Yeah. So, and also Malab also offer workspaces. Maybe if you are around Ilorin at Kwara State, you can also come and visit Malab at number 1 Ilofa Road, GRA, Ilorin. So if you have any question, you can also drop it in the Malab Tech communities. We are going to answer you there. And also, you can also follow us on our Twitter, or you can also share like maybe a takeaway or what you have learned here today and tag us on Twitter and tag our speaker also. So I'll be sharing our Twitter profile at the chat box right away. So you can see it. You can check Malop Twitter accounts. So tag us on what you have learned here today about this session, and also tag our amazing speaker, which is Mercy Thaddeus. We really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much, Mercy Thaddeus, for the amazing presentation. So make sure you join Malok Tech communities and also follow our social media platform to get updated on what we are going to be sharing later, and also our upcoming. We have a lot of upcoming events coming soon. Thank you so much for joining us today. Yeah, bye.